Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Or good evening. Hey, yo, be patient, dog. Damn. Anyways, what's up, everybody? I'm getting the world started up. Beaver is... I think Beaver's getting set up. How's everyone doing? How's your Friday evening? World's loading. I got my, what do you call it? What the fuck do you call this thing? Stream Deck. Sorry, my brain's a little slow tonight. I got my Stream Deck. Got it all set up. That'll be fun. So far, so good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Foxy, why are you talking when I talk? That's extremely rude. In Valheim. We are being reborn in Valheim. Why are you showing that? You're allergic to your chinchilla. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. That is rough. How's audio? We doing okay on audio? It's loud. Okay. Give me a sec. I can fix that. Oh my goodness, it's loud even over on TikTok. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah, I think it might be the game. Hold on. I can't even hear myself think. Okay, here we go. Okay. How's that? Does that sound better? Yeah, looks like the levels are pretty good over on OBS. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Alright, I already know what the bird's gonna say. We gotta go kill a deer or something. You can't... Oh, really? Sorry, Beaver. Try now. Sorry about that, old boy. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, so first things first. Resource gathering. The best part of every survival game. You tried to go live and your stream crashed 1 second in. You need a better computer then, bro. I bring tidings. You have found a snack. Yeah. Sorry, bird. I don't mean to be rude, but I got things to do. Places to see, people to kill. you know, stuff like that. Hey, SKZ, how you doing? How art thou? ...2016 model MacBook. I mean, maybe. If your stream is crashing, then you're either trying to use encoder settings that are too much for your computer, or it's just not going to support what you have. You thought I was going to ignore you? What? Never. Why would I ignore you? Leave me alone, lizard. Yes. That's right. You better fuck off, you little bitch. I'll punch you again. Hey Rexy, thanks for the lurk. Appreciate ya. Alright, are we like literally on an island? Leave me alone. Was Beaver here? Kick ass. Alright. We'll be able to see if this game... Because I don't remember if this game has voice chat or not. So we're gonna see if this game has voice chat so Beaver and I can talk. Leave me alone, dude. I didn't do nothing to you. Bro, chill. Man, can't a Viking just pick up wood in the forest? Leave me alone. Yep, there's someone here now. Gotta go find him so we can see if... Dude, this boar needs to chill. Leave me alone, bro. Alright, I'm gonna have to, like, whoop his ass real quick. Beaver. Oh, my goodness. Leave me alone. Thank you. Alright, square up. Square up then. Come on, square up. You think you're tough? Yeah, it says frightened, but the thing keeps coming back for more. Oh, well, I guess my first bit of food. Alright, now I can check the damn settings. Audio. There is no voice chat in here. Hey Beaver, there's no voice chat. Hello kitty, how are you doing? I'm gonna call him on Discord real quick, so give me a sec. Hello. Can you hear me? There you are. Beautiful. How goes it? There's no voice chat in the game.
I loaded my Beaver character up, not realizing that it doesn't start new, so I've got some armor on.
That's fine. I mean, one of us has to.
I'll fight everything at the moment.
Okay. I'm looking for a good place to build, but it looks like we're on an island surrounded by like forests. I'm trying to find like a good clearing. All right, can you guys hear Beaver all right?
Can you hear Beaver all right?
No? Okay.
They can't hear you.
I don't know. No one's saying anything. No, you cannot. Okay, thank you, Cam.
It could be because we're on streamer mode.
Oh, does it do that? Okay.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this.
Okay. I am gonna
just
quote
put
you.
off streamer mode.
Now can you guys hear him?
Oh, these are rare.
I don't know how you're not able to hear him. Bye, Rogue.
Oh yeah, I should probably check my stream.
Yeah, he is speaking. What the heck? I can see his sound coming through.
Have you taken it off streamer mode?
Yeah, I took it off streamer mode. He is so quiet. Okay, hold on.
Am I quiet for you, Slacker, or no?
A little bit. You're a little quiet for me. But I figured that's just because I had my volume down a little bit.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But I turned my volume up. So I think you're quiet for everybody. Yeah, everybody's saying you're low.
Yeah, wah. Yeah, wah.
Maybe it's... Hold on.
Wah.
Your ceiling fan's louder than him? Oh, goodness. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. If it's something I can fix, I'll fix it. While he's out here trying to kill me. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
I'm defending against all your crazy attacks.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, Valheim, OBS, or not OBS. Discord. Okay, say something now, Beaver.
Beaver.
Did you guys hear that? You hear tiny grunts? Oh boy. My favorite time of day. Audio problems. Okay, how about now? Do you guys hear him now? Now he's loud? What the hell? Buddy. Discord, I hate ya. Come on, man. I don't see anything else. Can you turn up your side a little bit? I want to see if that does anything. Yeah, like turn up your mic a bit. You have both streams unmuted and only hear him on his. Yeah, can you hear me on his stream? What the goddamn is going on? Discord. Is it voice mod screen? No, that's just my... Oh my god. Output. Okay, hold on. What if we do... Because maybe it's using my default one. Okay. Ain't that how it usually is? Alright, I might have to mute game capture on here and then turn on desktop audio. Alright. Say something now, Beaver.
Something now, Beaver?
Did you guys hear that?
This is where you turn off your voice mod and you end up being a big Russian man or something.
Or maybe I'm just a tiny little woman. Okay, now they hear you. Beautiful.
That'd never happen. No one wants to be a man on stream. Everyone,
Nah, I'm gonna turn Slacker into a big titty goth waifu and get all the money.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Cool. Now we're cooking with gas.
Better than being a big titty goth man. Oh, that's a +1 deer.
Get him. Yeah. Oi.
Gotta get him with that.
Sorry, Cam. Did I just blow your mind?
What happened?
Nothing. I think he liked the me becoming a big titty goth streamer.
That's the train. Boy, that should have hit you.
Are there really no meadows anywhere around here?
Damn, you're tough, dear.
Or I'm gonna go over to Cam's house and be like, this milk is tasting a little estrogeny.
I'm going to go over to Cam's house and let all the flies in.
All of the big Australian flies. Hey, Ignited Bonnie, how you doing?
I'm not Australian.
Or the whatever, you know what I mean. I'd imagine you guys are plagued by the same.
Exactly the same, yeah. And none of us really care. It's kind of like, you know, twins being like, no, I'm the older one. We don't actually give a shit, but yeah.
How do I know? You know what? You caught me there. I don't know. I don't know what it tastes like. Okay.
It tastes really sweet.
Oh. It tastes really sweet, he says. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. All right. I think I finally got a clearing here.
I had a partner with 13 years and 6 children. Like.
Yeah, we aren't sharing chats. Hold on. Let me fix that.
I knocked on you a while ago. I forgot to tell you.
Oh.
There you go. Oh, no.
Let me accept your knock. 16 entire minutes I was dealing with that BS.
OBS.
Yeah. No, for real.
Yeah. All right, where'd you go?
I don't know how to explain. I found a clearing.
Is there a way?
You can't see me on the map? Yeah. Oh, wow. Can I ping where I am? Can you see my ping on the map?
Can I see you peeing on the map?
Yeah, can you see me peeing on the map?
Hey, Milky Dude reached a milestone.
Do I want you to change it back to your actual name? No, you're good. What's up, Beaver?
I thought they. Oh no, we don't do that. I actually just enabled friendly fire.
Yeah, sure. Accidentally.
I wouldn't have told you if otherwise.
Okay, so we got.
Oh, how'd that happen?
Oh no, I
Milky
accidentally.
Dude 1 redeemed hydrate. Get to it, you thirsty
I
bitch.
thought there was a way to turn on like friends. You know what I mean? Maybe it only works when we both have like a camp. Because I'm sure I've seen it happen before.
I think you're right. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Cam. Why is the
Oh, thanks for the
resolution so
hydrate,
low?
Cam. This game does that from time to time, especially when it gets dark. I don't know why.
Enable Raven, hence enable console, reduce background performance. Nope, I don't see anything. Yeah, maybe we just gotta wait till we build our first shelter. Which I got an axe, so.
Hell yeah. Oh, I found a house.
Hello, Matthew. You can use whatever name you want, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh, whoa.
Remember, you just gotta tell me who you are. That way, I don't treat you like a brand new viewer every time.
Like a peasant.
Like a peasant. Thou art a stinky peasant.
Peasant.
That's why you changed it back to your other name? Okay. That's cool with me.
Oh, hydrate. Thank you, Cam.
Is it me or did they, like, make the trees harder to chop?
Maybe, or maybe you're just used to having better equipment.
I've never made it past copper. Every time I play Valheim with friends, we never make it very far. Like, we've never even made it to the Ashlands.
You never made it to the ash hole?
Yeah.
Just gotta dip a toe in the ash hole. then you'll be further than you've ever been.
What is that, like second base?
Right. It's like in what is it called? A walk?
Good night, Matthew.
I feel cold.
You need to snuggle for warmth.
What was that? What's in it tonight?
Oh my goodness. A twofer.
A twofer?
Yeah, my tree knocked down another tree.
Oh, that was my deer sound.
You died?
No?
Oh, did you say deer or death?
No, it was my deer son.
Oh, okay.
Sound, I mean, not sign. I'm just finding all the like broken down stuff around the map. Oh, that's the cold land. We don't want to go there yet.
Oh my god, where are you?
No wonder it's cold around here.
Bro's like exploring the entire map.
I mean, it's pretty on brand for me to disappear. I'm
well, I
fine
guess
once
I'll
we
just
have
keep
a
building.
base, but if there's no like base, I'm just like wonder. A wow 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 wonder.
What you're saying is I gotta lock you down.
Yeah. Good. Oh, the single ladies.
Side is this? I think this side's better. All the single beavers. All the single beavers. Yeah, this side's better. It's flatter. Man, can this raven screw off already? Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's quite persistent.
Like, talk to me, please. I bring tidings.
I'm so alone.
Like, bro, that's not my problem. Sure, there's.
Oh, he's about to make it your problem. You watch.
Oh no. What's the frickin' build button again?
It is
Built
you
the
hold
hammer.
the hammer,
Yeah.
and then you hit. You left click, right click. So
Okay, I right clicked, but I can't make anything. I can make. Oh wait, I need a workbench. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
about that. I forgot about that.
and you need to remember you need to cover the workbench.
Right.
Oh, I'm in the Black Forest.
It's a dainty little lass. Okay, there we go.
I keep attacking the bird, disappears.
Stop it! Stop hitting me!
Right, let's
There's
let's
no.
let's try to find you.
There's a
Have you hit the
day.
map? Is there a way to ping? Oh,
Goodness gracious! Can this thing go away,
oh,
please?
right there. Visible other players. Click on map and click visible to other players.
Look on the map.
So press M,
M. Oh, I see. Okay.
and then down the bottom right there should be a button visible to other players.
Oh, you're not too far away from me.
I can't be. Oh yeah, there you are. Yeah. Go away.
It's snapping. I can't see. Hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Yeah. This bird's got smoke now.
Smug aura mocks me.
Oh, I forgot how cray the skeletons hit. Jesus.
Am I at now? I literally cannot see a goddamn thing right now.
I have 3 skeletons on my ass.
Just give them what they want, man. Hi, Bella.
Bella, riding everywhere.
Okay, I think that should be enough.
You got oh, you got stuck in ad jail. Right. What are you even doing?
Sorry, I can't bail you out of that one. Am I doing? I'm building.
No, not you, Bella.
Oh. You try to rob the ad bank. Oh, I'm all out of wood.
Dude, this one skeleton's persistent. Oh no, he got ADHD hard. He's chasing me like for ages, and then the one boar comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Ooh, piece of candy."
That's one thing I've always like kind of thought is like a little something that I wish they would fix about this game is the aggro range. Ah, bees. Oop, I died.
Did you?
Bees killed me.
Bees nuts.
Yep. Must be the first Viking in history to die to bees.
I highly doubt it.
Well, can you imagine? Because, like, you know, there's no way they would have understood allergies back in those days. Like, one of the Vikings is allergic to bees. And then, like, he's out gathering honey for mead, gets stung and dies. And they're like, ha, ha, this idiot. He is so weak, he dies to bees. We're
How'd
not
that go?
even going to bury him. Oh my god, what do you want? Yes. You get it, it's cold, okay? I can feel that.
Oh, I think I found your
Welcome
wolf.
back from the ad break. If you hate ads, consider a sub or using your Twitch Prime.
Yeah, feel free to add on to it. Oh my god, what? Shut up.
You doing it right there, Slugger?
This freaking bird won't leave me alone. He's like freaking Clippy.
Flippy.
Game called Hellblade where the main character has psychosis but she was viewed as cursed. Oh yeah, because they didn't like know about all that stuff back then. They're just like, yo, what's up with this chick? Oh my
mean-
god, I didn't even do anything, boar. Leave me alone.
Oh yeah, the boars are relentless. We need to build a hoe.
Got one right here.
Because then we can make the land flat.
Oh, that's right, huh? Okay.
Oh. I
Okay.
need more wood.
Not gonna mess with those bees.
What's up?
Yo. You mind getting this boar off me? Thank you. Jesus Christ, he's persistent. Timber. Yeah, timber?
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
There we go. Now timber. It didn't want to fall. Aw, my thing broke.
I'm like that too. Sometimes. Oh shit.
Oh my god, what do you want? Yes,
What?
I know what a workbench is, man.
Oh, that bird's there for me, not for you.
Oh,
But I'm ignoring it.
smart.
Do you think that there'll be heaps of birds around eventually? Like, or do they duplicate? Like, if I don't answer one and then I need another tip, do you think there'll be another bird, or?
I think it'll just like not leave you alone. Because what happened to me is I would talk to it, and then it kept and it just kept coming to me because I ignored it too. And then it just keeps coming to you. Like, hey, I got something to tell you. Hey, come here.
To be honest with you, that's pretty like spot on for birds.
Yeah, like magpies. I hear like in the
Swooping
the
season.
spring. Yeah.
Yeah, they make nests and then they're like, you walk anywhere near it and they're like, you motherfucker, how dare you?
I mean, you know, technically they were here first, so. Ow, cat, stop! Ow.
Which will be fine if I actually wanted to hurt them, but I don't. I just want to walk past.
Yeah. Like you're not actually there to threaten them. They're like, oh, you are a bastard.
Yeah. You're like, I'm walking home right now, and they're like, absolutely not.
You would think that somebody would figure out how to turn that into like a security system, though. Just like put a bunch of magpie nests on their property.
They only really do it when they've had babies.
That makes sense.
They very rarely swoop when they're just them. They just fly around and eat stuff. Right, we can use that workbench now.
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar. The next thing.
There we go. Now I got a better axe.
I don't actually know if I even have an axe. I think I just bashed those trees down with a hammer. Let's have a look. Oh no, stone axe. I do.
One of these days, some crazy fucking guy is gonna make a video like, oh, can you build a shelter with just a butter knife or something like that. You can like chop down trees with a butter knife. Put the whole
like-
shelter together with it.
It's like that guy that defeated Skyrim. Oh no, made it to $1 million in Skyrim just being like a normal ass fucking farmer.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's fucking grind right there.
It is, yeah, like, yeah, he wanted to become, basically it was like, he wanted to become a noble, only, like, but be a farmer, and it was the funniest thing.
Because it's like those jobs usually give you like, what, 50 gold?
If you're lucky. Right, we need to build a hoe, because this is ridiculous. Yeah, like, they're worth nothing.
Like, I think one time I was playing Skyrim and thought, you know, maybe I should, instead of just being a thief all the time, what if I try to play legit? So I tried doing like blacksmithing jobs and stuff like that, not realizing that, holy cow, is that a pain in the ass.
Yes, it's the worst. My favorite way to play Skyrim is the just normal ass villager one, a mod where you just start out and like as like a normal villager instead of doing that whole. I mean, you technically still are, but you don't go through that stupid opening cutscene.
Well, you're finally awake.
Yeah, instead you're just a normal ass guy.
Or those alternate start mods. Those ones are always my favorite. The ones where you can like be a bandit.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
But there's one that has a heap of different things. Like you can start it as like, you know, one of those cave magicians and shit.
Cave magician?
I can't remember what they're called. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is hilarious. What's your occupation? Cave magician.
Cave magician. That's right. I need a wooden, I need to upgrade wood. Where's my hammer? Hammer!
Ah. Hammer time.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. There you go. Now we're level 2 workbench. Which means I should be able to.
Oi. You know, if you like this game, you would really like RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
I do want to play it. I just haven't got a chance to.
Yeah. No, I get you. But yeah, no, that one's a lot of fun. Albeit not a lot of features yet, because at one point they were looking to drop it in true Jagex fashion. They weren't always going to support it. But now they're like, you know what? Actually, we are going to. Hey, Zaddy.
Zaddy girl. The pipes are calling.
Hey, thank you for the follow.
Fucking brain, I swear.
I guess we're gonna have to wait for the flat hoe.
I'm gonna chop down this beach.
Zaddy.
Come out and play.
¿Qué pasa, amiga? ¿Cómo estás?
How you doing, Dad?
What angle is this thing at? Oh. Oops. 26 degrees. Do I not have a 26 degree? Okay, there we go. Why 26 degrees?
It's nice and warm.
That. Like that joke. When it's cold, why should you stand in the corner?
Yeah, because 90 degrees. Right, you're going to annoy me, bird.
We're doing all right. The parents' house
yeah,
for the weekend? Heck yeah.
Now I just have to go through a whole lot of fucking dialogue.
Have fun with that. How's the parents doing, Zaddy?
Parents?
Yeah, she's at the parents' house.
What was I going to do? I was going to do something. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I like this game, man. I think this game has, like, a fucking whole lot of charm.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Thanks a lot, tree.
Oh, you just got killed by a tree?
Almost.
Yeah. I was watching Glock9 play this game a while ago, and the first day, he's like, I hope this tree doesn't fall on me, and then it swung around, and ended up getting him anyway, and it killed him, and he's like, God damn it.
Back when this game first came out, I played it with friends, and that was like, I think one of like hundreds of deaths was just always getting killed by trees.
Yeah.
You've never played Valheim? Well, hey, if you ever want to, just give
man.
a shout. Oh, you're waiting for them. Good old parents, you know. They ask you to come over, you oblige, and then you get to their house and they're like not there, and they're like, oh, we'll be home in a few hours.
My mom never does that. We realized, like, after months that we haven't seen each other, and then we're like, maybe we should catch up. And we're like, oh, yeah, maybe. And then like a month later, it might happen.
Me and my mother, I think, both have ADHD, because like she never texts me. You know how like most people, their mom is like constantly texting them?
Nope.
Okay, well, some people, their mom will like constantly be texting them, are you okay? How are you doing? Yada yada. Like my mom like never texts me, and then like a couple of months go by and she's like, oh yeah, by the way, how you doing? Are you okay? I haven't heard from you in a while.
No, Mom, I'm dead.
Dude, tree, fuck off. Damn. I think that's just really funny because I'm the same way and I feel bad. Like when people are like, oh, I want to catch up and like keep in touch and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Here's my number. And then they'll text me multiple times like, hey, how are things going? And I'm like, great, things are good. And that's it. You know, because just like my brain isn't the one to be like, oh, that is a conversation topic. You should have a conversation with this person. My brain goes, that's a question, answer it. That's it.
That sounds more like autism than the ADHD.
I keep saying I need to get freaking tested. Not stand under the tree when it falls. Hey, that sounds like excellent advice that I am absolutely not going to take, because these trees swing wildly around and it's hard to tell where they're going to go. Also, you know me, I don't pay attention to where I am.
Where are you?
Spatial awareness who? Also, I think the last time I ever played this with like an actual group of friends is when the sailing mechanic came out. We sailed over to some island and we all proceeded to get the ever-loving shit beat out of us. And we were like, I think we should take a break.
That sounds like this game.
Saucity redeemed hydrate. Get to it, you thirsty bitch.
Thank you for the hydrate, Zaddy.
Mustang ZD. Sorry. Where does
Ride, Zaddy, ride.
Disco Inferno. Hell yeah. Anyone see that shot?
I didn't see a thing. I'm sorry.
I just shot a deer from the other side of the lake.
We will tell stories about your triumph. Oh, hey, tree, get away. See what I mean,
So
Zaddy?
we will tell stories about that one fluke shot you got once.
Oh, I'm glad that
When you go...
Huh?
No, you go.
I was gonna say, I'm glad when you chop down like a beech tree, it just becomes a normal log, so you can use your regular axe.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, you know those?
Oh.
Have you seen those videos where there's some trend going around where there's those videos where it's like, oh, repeat after me, and you have to like say the word like ball, dog, apple, apple.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Like, there's one where these guys tricked their dad. Oh, never mind. Beech trees can be chopped with anything. These guys tricked their dad, where it starts off with a I, M, and then the second part, it's he's like, wait, what's that right there? And it's a beach, and then the next part is I, M, beach, and then the third part is I, M, A, and then finally at the end, I am a beach, I am a, and he goes, yo, wait a minute.
I love that shit. Like when kids get their parents like that, it cracks me up.
That would be me all the time. Like if I actually recorded my real life self and say like my mom or whatever, I'd be pranking her all the time. 'Cause that was me as a teenager, just always pranking people. Yeah, I saw that video you did, Zaddy.
If I recorded what went on in my house, that would be Quinn with me all the time. Fucking little bitch.
Hey, that's the best part of having parents, you know? You have to get back at them for the trauma of bringing you into this world, okay?
My kids don't know fucking trauma at all. Fucking spoiled.
Oh, I'm all full on wood. All right.
Hey. Okay. A couple more deers and I'll almost be able to make you a full set of leather gear.
Yes. Now, what kind of roof should we have?
A thatch one, because it's all that's fucking available to it.
No, I mean like the top part.
I thought it was a massive fucking boar, but it was the light shining off a fucking rock in the middle of the lake.
Okay, okay, stop. What did I just break? Dude, dude, I can't get rid of this freaking thing. Stop. There we go.
Hydrate.
Jesus. I think I just broke something important. What did I break?
Your hammer?
Oh no, it was next to the workbench.
Oh, the log with the X in it.
Crap. Okay, hold on. How do I make that? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, if you put it next to it, it just makes the workbench level 2.
There we go.
Bro, this fucking deer is so lucky. It has no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
Is that what you call a deer who can't see?
Yeah, no idea. Oh shit, there's
What
a lot of you.
was I gonna be? Oh, a hoe. That's right. Oh, I need stone.
Oh, 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 oh.
Stones. There we go. All right, and eat another bite I shall.
And mine just came up with that too.
We have synchronized stomachs. Yo, what's up, Focal? How you doing?
Is that like the swimming of eating?
Yeah.
I'm everywhere, Zaddy says. I'm everywhere.
Is that a threat?
Sounds more like a promise.
Wait, how do you lower the ground?
Is it rotating the mouse wheel? I can't remember.
Wait, hold on. There we go. Now it's working. Again, I can't see a bloody goddamn thing because every time I go to start building, it's nighttime.
Why do you build during the day?
Because I'm gathering wood during the day.
Hey. It's the oldest profession.
That's more of a nighttime task.
Nah, lights on. Yeah. Oh. Oops. I just broke my axe. Need to repair.
I think this house should be big enough now. This house ain't big enough for the two of us.
I hope it is, because otherwise we're in trouble.
Hey, if it can fit me in here, then good. Actually, I'm gonna put the door near the workbench. No. Beautiful. Door. No. Don't you hate how small the door is? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, they might have had small doors back then to stop like people being able to come in. Like quickly.
I guess so.
That's me guessing. Like, I have no clue.
But wouldn't Viking OSHA have something to say against that?
Viking OSHA.
Yeah. The VOSHA?
I don't think Viking OSHA give a shit.
It's okay. According to the bylaws, you are still able to kill a man from the door. It is valid.
Okay. I got some goodies over here, by the way, Slicker.
Ooh, goodies. You like goodies. Oh, that's... What am I doing? All right.
I don't have any bones, so I can't make that. I've forgotten how to repair.
I think it's a tab on the workbench. Wait, what am I doing? Do, 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 do.
Upgrade?
Do, 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 do. Okay. And then we need a hole in the ceiling or roof for smoke.
Oh, do you have any stones?
Probably. Give me
I haven't
one
cooked.
moment, please.
I could get some. I just thought maybe you had some on you.
Oops. I should probably start learning how to speak Danish at some point. Given that the possibility of California being sold to Denmark. Okay, let's see. I have 1 stone.
Hell yeah, that's all I need, I think.
There you go. Go get it. My character just toss it. Pull yourself out of a magician's hat like a rabbit. That'd be a kick-ass way to go somewhere. Just like you see a hand pop out of nowhere, reach into a hat, and then you're like pulling yourself out. Now that's a magic trick. Oh, my hammer's broken. No wonder I can't build.
Ah, here you go. Look at here.
Okay. What? Oh. Hey. That's what I am talking about. Now I'm not going to freeze my Viking nuts off.
You had a bit Scottish at the end there.
I can't decide which accent to do.
Freeze my Viking nuts off.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate.
It's all good, man. Just remember, if you die, I have to collect trees on my own.
Oh, when you open up the interface, the workbench, there's a little hammer icon.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay.
After you said it, I didn't even look at it until you'd said something. Then I was like, oh, it's right fucking there.
Campfire, cooking station. Oh, right. Hold on. It needs to be on the ground, if I remember correctly. Let me break open a hole in the ground. There we go. Now we can put a campfire right there.
Or we could just create a space in the wall here and build a chimney going up. No, you're not muted. No. We're on Discord. For what? Don't care about that. Why the fuck was that so far down? Hold up, don't build the campfire yet.
Can you hear me now?
Mr. Krabs? Yes.
Can you hear me now, Cam?
Fuck, I need more wood.
Did you guys complete? No, yeah, you can hear my voice. Okay. Oh, well, it mutes me for stream, but it doesn't mute me for Discord. Okay, well, whatever.
I can't hear you, Slacker, anymore.
Ah, come on. Yes, you can. Where are my clothes? Right here.
I mean, remember that scene where they go to the steel mill on The Simpsons? That's where the clothes went.
Maybe? I gotta
Remember,
rewatch Simpsons.
everyone's gay, and they're all super ripped, and they all take their shirts off and stuff. And he takes Bart there to see real men,
No, I don't remember this.
and then they end up being gay. And Homer's like, when did manly professions end up being gay people? All right. For
Oh, because I have the wrong. Wait, no, what the hell? Oh, there we go. I was using the wrong one. Also, I remember when I was playing this game, I posted a picture of one of the like houses I made because I was proud of it. I was like, "Yeah, this is a cool Viking house," and everyone's like, "Yay, good job! Here's your upvotes." Blah 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 blah. Literally, the next freaking post in the damn sub is somebody post it building the goddamn like it was either like the Taj Mahal or something. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Show off.
That's you're being salty about it is the funniest part to that.
I mean, of course, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna clap him on the back and be like, "Good job. That's great. That was amazing." What is this? What are you building? Oh, is this a chimney? Ha!
Yeah. So
Oh,
that we can have our thing inside and not get our face covered in smoke.
Whoops. Well, then I can put the floor back.
There you go.
Also, one thing I'm glad that I learned before I ever travel abroad was learning that in any like, well, I don't know like how many countries have this, but like England and like the UK, basically when you see someone and they go, "All right," they're not asking you if you're okay. It's like them saying hello.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so glad I learned that before.
Also, it can also be like a sentence finisher.
That would have been so embarrassing. Like I go to the UK and someone's like, "All right." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. How are you?"
Honestly, they're probably so used to it now. Like like when you finish a sentence with "yeah," like, "Oh, you're doing all right, yeah," or something like that. That type of thing. In Australia, they'll finish it with "but." They'll be like, "You all right, but?" And it took me ages to like realize that they weren't doing like a sentence continuation.
That's gotta be so confusing for Americans. Hey, John, what's going on, man? Thank you for the gifts. How you doing? Or like one of my favorite stories is someone talking about how they had an Italian exchange student who was at their college, and he would get so pissed off because like I don't know what other countries do this, but I know here in America when somebody says something like they make a point and you're like trying to show interest in what they say, you go like, "Oh yeah, you know, and apparently they don't do that over there. So this guy was getting pissed off because he thought people were challenging him, and he would be like, yeah, that's right, that's what I'm saying. Like, why doesn't anyone believe me? Like, no, that's not what that is. That's them like showing interest in what you're saying, man. Hey, Yuki. Oh, thank you for the heart me, Yuki. How's it going?
Yuki, help me. Sorry.
Yuki.
Are we supposed to finish the first boss to get the pickaxe?
You cheater.
I didn't mean to.
That's
I didn't
okay.
know that if you chose an old character that it would give you everything you finished.
That I did know because I made that mistake one time. Because I have a character that's pretty far in the game. And I've done that before where I like join in a friend's brand new world with a character, with that character, and they're like, dude, you're already like way far ahead of us. Because they saw like I had like copper armor and all that stuff. And I'm like, ooh, shit.
Yo,
sorry.
I'm glad I only had leather armor. Cooking food.
Oi. But, how's it going, John? You at work tonight? You know what? Instead of like building frivolous like support beams, I think I should collect wood for beds.
I was just gonna see if I could build some of those. No, I'm missing wood.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yo, SKZ, how you doing?
Not something you want to say on the stream.
What?
I'm missing wood.
I'm missing wood. Someone's gonna be like, oh, that sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah.
Why am I not automatically picking up wood anymore?
Full inventory.
Nope. I'm not even at weight either. Oh, you wanna fight me, huh? Okay. Bring it on, lad.
You got your spear now. You should be all good.
Yeah. Get absolutely wrecked. You little shiter. Didn't even stand a chance. Bye, SKZ. Alright. You take care, man. Chop. Chop. Oh, no wonder. I'm out of stamina. In that case, I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to add mute Discord to my stream deck.
Discord will be like, you'll never mute me.
Huh. Wouldn't be surprised. The way
The true scary ones are Steam. But like in a good way.
I don't know. I'm one of those weirdos that like trust Steam with my life. I don't know why. They've never given me a reason.
That's a good thing because they this guy, I read a story, it's a true story. A guy got a random message from them saying that he got a refund from Steam.
Yeah.
And have you heard that one?
Huh.
So someone got a hold of his account from like some other country, brought a whole lot of games and gifted them to themselves on their one, right? And they they had figured out what was happening, got the guy, deleted his Steam account, and then got all the money back and put it back into his account before he'd even realized that there was money coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's all those memes about like what's his name on TikTok, Jaden something, He makes those funny skits, but he made one about Steam, where like the person's calling in Steam support, like, "Hey, I think my account got hacked," and Steam's like, "All right, we're on it, sir. All right, yep, looks like we found the hacker. We have visual on him. All right, what would you like us to do?" And the person's like, "I don't understand. What do you mean?" They're like, "We need the command, sir. Do we kill him?" And he's like, "What? No, 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 don't kill him." They're like, "Then what would you like us to do? Because we have visual. And he's seeing us. What do we do here?" It's like,
There was another story that came out about this guy playing about Discord scammer,
uh-huh.
and then Discord they did it through Steam and Discord because it's like a mixed thing. Anyway, Discord's like, no, we can't delete people's accounts, blah blah blah. And then about 30 minutes later, Steam's like, yeah, we deleted his Discord account. And Discord's like, how the fuck did you do that?
The next thing you know, it's like you're gonna get hacked, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, we took care of it." And then they're like, "All right, so here's what we did: we found him, we threw him in jail, we erased his social security, and we'll be extraditing him over to the Bulgarian government anytime soon. All right, how else can we help you?" Just like, I just wanted my account back.
My favorite thing at the moment is how that jewel thief got away scot-free from your country.
Jewel thief. I think I remember that. I don't really pay attention to that. I don't care though.
He was in jail for getting processed for jewel robbery, like hundreds of millions of dollars. They only recovered like 20% of it, and then ICE deported him.
Yeah, those are one of those things where it's like I don't really care because it's like it's probably just rich people shit, you know.
So he got away with like 80% of his haul because they saw he was brown and fucking decided to send him away. I'd be fucking stoked, dude. That guy was looking at life imprisonment.
He only that's basically a slap on the wrist. He's like, "All right, I'll take it. Yeah, sure."
Are you hungry?
I think so. They moved the hunger meter, didn't they? Oh no, there it is. Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, this is your bed.
Nice. Here's 20 steaks for you.
Yum. Now I can eat berries and steak, just the way God intended.
I would love just to live off fucking berries and steak.
Although, like, what would that do to your stomach, though? Sound like you would probably need to invent toilet paper rather quickly.
No, I feel like the steak would block you up, but then the berries would do the opposite. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And probably.
The war raging inside of your gut you would never know about.
It's just like a gamble every time you fucking go to take a fart.
Alright, let's see. So I think the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start building some defenses then.
Honestly, we could probably go and take on that fucking boss if you wanted to.
The deer?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Well, it shows us if we go to the altar, right? It
Yeah.
points. Okay, I'll go get the location then.
Oh, we need 3 deer heads as well. I don't know if I've... Oh yeah, I've got 5.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Ducky? How you doing?
Time for some good old-fashioned deforestation.
You know who's an absolutely hilarious streamer though? Do you know Limmy, the Scottish comedian?
I don't know. Is she the one with the glasses?
No, he does the one that he's the one from the memes, like you know the guy, he's laying in bed and he's doing that like tired face where he's like lifting his head out of bed and he's got that face as if like, you know, someone's shining a light in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Limmy. He has this show just called Limmy Show, but it's like a comedian sketch show. And
Yeah.
it's really funny if you ever get a chance to watch it. It's full of Scottish humor, but he streams too. He's freaking hilarious. Like one of the things I recommend watching is his Elden Ring playthrough, because
I could imagine a comedian being a very good streamer though. Like that doesn't even cross my mind that they wouldn't be.
Yeah, well, no, he's real good. But his Elden Ring streams are hilarious because it's like full of Scottish anger and a lot. And then when he gets angry, he just goes full Scottish into things you can't even understand. You're just like, what is he saying?
So the like Scandinavian / Scottish side of my family, they actually become easier to understand the more they drink.
It's just because like it slows them way down.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is this it? His antlers are branches of iron. Yeah, this must be it. So then where is he? I could have sworn when you look at the that you can track him down on the thing.
Maybe I messed it up because I've already got it.
Magical stones are if inspected closer, this one will reveal the summoning place of Eikthyr. Oh, there it is. Damn, he is really fucking close to us. Okay, I found it.
Sweet. Oh, beehive.
Did it appear on the map for you?
Yeah, but I just got thanked by a bee. Hold up.
Don't worry, I'll bring you your EpiPen. I'm doing all right, Ducky. Thanks for asking.
Cool. Alright, beehive gone. Get some honey and some queen bee.
Yeah, let's make us some mead.
I'm just gonna go make us a hive while I'm here.
Dude, I don't know why I'm not automatically picking stuff up now. Because now whenever I go to gather berries, they fall under the bush. I can't get them.
Has something been clicked accidentally?
Let's see. Don't know what I would have clicked. Did I click anything? Nope, nothing in there. Turn off camera shake, please. Camera shake keeps turning on. That's really annoying. Nope. I do not see anything.
You do not see it, Sam Man?
I cannot see it, Sam I am. I do not want green eggs and ham. I do not want them, Sam I am.
I'm coming. Whoop. What?
Speaking of Scots, like, I saw one of where someone made like an edit of the Sam I Am thing, and like I cannot recite any of it to save my life, but part of it that was hilarious to me, where it's like You put that fecking shite in my face again, and I'll beat your ass, you mangy wee cunt.
Have you seen the guy who raps Dr. Seuss books?
I think so. Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
And it
Fast
sounds
as
so
hell.
good.
Oh, you know Dr. Seuss knew what rap was ahead of his time.
Yeah, you know, this is like other rappers. He beat his wife too, so.
Thanks.
I used to really like Dr. Seuss, and then I found out he's actually just a horrible human being.
I mean, isn't everybody from that day and age? I mean, it's like I love H.P. Lovecraft, and you find out that he's a massive bigot, and you're like, oh, yikes.
Oh. Can you go away? Oh, there's a beehive in here. Oh my god.
The one thing I want to know, like, why in like most fantasy settings are bees venomous? Because it's like even in this game and also in Where Winds Meet, like bees are for some reason venomous, and it's like, yeah, they do have venom in them, but you know, only enough to kill you if you're allergic to them.
Every time you get stung by a bee, your body actually becomes worse at handling it. Did you know that?
Really? No, I didn't. I think I've only ever been stung by a bee once in my life. And that's when I learned, all right, don't fuck with bees. Yep. Seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, if you get stung a lot, and I mean a lot, get to a point where you are pretty much allergic now.
Well, I mean, from what I've learned from a lot of like beekeeping and also like bee rescue videos is like it's very easy to not get stung. Just
Yeah,
you know.
most beekeepers I know don't even use suits.
Yeah, because it's like they only really get aggressive when you start screwing with their nest or when they're looking for a new nest. That's when they get really aggressive.
Oh, I see. Never mind. Hold on. I hit the wrong button.
But they're honestly really docile. Awaken, 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 awaken. Mustaf. Bakush.
Oh, you are.
Ikthia. I don't remember. Is there a dodge button?
Yeah, but I can't remember what it is.
Oi. Well, it's not double tap, that's for sure. Ow!
You could use your bow if you want.
Do I have a bow? Oh, wait, yeah, you
I
gave
gave-
me one. Alright, hold on. Alright, I'll be the ranged DPS. Shit, did I hit you?
It doesn't matter. I don't. Oh no, you can't hit me.
Oh, okay, good. I shot an arrow and I saw your life go down a little bit. I was like, oh crap. This reminds me of Elden Ring. The ancestral fight. Stop hiding behind the tree. Get the fuck out of there.
Bring around the road tree.
Hey, you're being a good tank. Just keep that up. Hey, you don't feel rested anymore. I kind of feel like I'm not rested anymore.
There you go.
Got him. Eat shit, fat bitch. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
Well met.
Back home to make another beehive.
I have Raven tutorials off, don't I? No, I don't. Okay, there we go. I don't need him anymore. Just leave me alone.
Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. Are you coming after me still?
Kinda.
Where are we going?
Back home.
Am I going in the right? Am I going in
no.
the right direction?
This way.
Oh, we need to mark it on the map.
Can you not see it?
No, it's good. No, because you built it, so I need to mark it on the map. Oh, I got your ping now. I need to collect some flint. Oh, I thought that was a stone.
It's a stone, Luigi.
A stone Luigi.
You didn't make it.
Hey dear, can you come back here? Not you, slacker.
Oh. Alright. Fine.
I want to make a rug. Been 3 days that I haven't slept once in this game.
Oh, yeah, huh. There we go. Dude, frickin' goddamn Raven got in the way. I'm trying to kill this dwarf. Oh, for the love of...
Got him.
Beautiful. So in order to make a forge, we need that fire core or something like that, right?
Yeah, we need to find caves.
Oh, and that's in the
Welcome
Black
back
Forest,
from the
right?
ad break. See?
I think they're only in the
wasn't
Black
so
Forest.
bad.
I could be wrong though.
Oh, excuse me.
Then we'll get to fight trolls.
Oh, great. Okay, this way.
Oh. Hey, I got a beehive there.
Oh, beehive.
Oh, you just saw me murder your friend, then you ran away, and I turn around and you run after me again.
Yeah, they're not very smart. All right. Deer annihilated.
Take it.
Oh, wow. Literally when I try to sleep, it becomes daytime.
I don't actually know if it matters.
I mean, don't you get a well-rested bonus?
Oh, yeah, you do.
All right, well, time to chop some more trees.
But our bees just killed a boar.
Oh, all right, let's go. Yeah, the
Right.
perfect defense system. And something interesting I learned is that on some farms, apparently they don't even need like wolf dogs, like the dogs that can like specifically go after wolves. They just get a donkey, because apparently donkeys hate wolves so much they will actively, like, if they see one, they will actively chase it down and stomp it to death. And so
That's
they're like,
amazing.
yeah, they have to be careful with introducing farm dogs to donkeys, because donkey will be like, wolf, like chase it down.
Do you remember that thing of that dog that, like, those coyotes went to attack this thing, and then the dog just took off for like 3 days, and then it came back, like covered in like cuts and bites and bleeding and stuff. And
I
so
took
they
care
took
of
it to the vet, and then they followed its like the blood trail back up the hill. And when they got there, there was like 12 dead coyotes.
Jesus. Like, I took care of that problem for you. Don't need to pay me, boss.
That's a dog that you want on your bloody farm.
Yeah, like in San Diego, we had a coyote problem because they would come up from, because where I lived there was a gully, and they would come up from the I don't know what you call that. I think it's the chaparral or what, however you say that word, but it's like that dry wooded area in some, or not wooded, but like it's almost like a desert. But anyways, they would come from there, but they would follow this long river that emptied into a gully into my part of the city, and it was pretty bad. But we had a pit bull, and you know, to spare any like animal lovers, let's just say that my pit bull hated coyotes, and we specifically had to lock her up on the patio at night because anytime any of them came through our our backyard, yeah. I think you can see the picture I'm painting, but you know, we brought our cats in at night, so it wasn't like there was any threat, but damn, she hated coyotes.
Sounds like a good animal.
I mean, the kind that you would want on a farm. That's like, you know, where we lived, it's like, all right, girl, you gotta chill.
No chill.
You are basically becoming the freaking boogeyman, the coyote boogeyman.
Yeah, had a full-blooded red nose and he had massive, whatever the hell you call it. And he wouldn't stop growing. He ended up being 60 kilos.
That's a big boy. I really want, like, if I ever have the room for it, I really want, like, one of those really big dogs, the ones that look intimidating, but are actually, like, sweethearts.
Yeah, that's a pit bull.
Or like a Tibetan Mastiff or something.
Tibetan Mastiffs are not sweethearts.
No?
No, you have to be very, very hard on them. Otherwise, they'll think they're the boss and then they'll eat you.
Jeez. Or what's the other one that's hard to keep? I don't know how to say it. It's like Malinois or something like that.
Malamar is like a husky. My mate around the corner has one of them.
No, not the Malamute. The Belgian one. The Belgian dog.
The Cane Corso.
I don't know. It starts with an M. It's like the Belgian.
Malamute?
It's spelled like Malamois or something like that. I don't know how to say it. But it's the dogs that they use like in the military. Because they're just like, they love taking commands and they're extremely athletic, but they are not the kind of dog to have, like, you know, in a family, because they're just extremely high energy and they will just destroy your house.
When my friend retired from the military, his dog got to retire as well. And but it had to have its teeth removed, and false ones put in because it had titanium coated teeth.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's for biting through Kevlar.
Basically turn that thing into a freaking anti-personnel killing machine. I'm stuck. What am I stuck on? What the hell? Oh, encumbered. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. I'm gonna drop some stones and some flint. Since you're near me, you can pick them up if you want them. See, you have auto collect on. What gives?
I don't know.
What did I do?
Got your wood.
That's alright. You can have my wood.
I'm going to go and make some more arrows. So I just realized I only have 2 left.
Alright, I'm just gonna be building fences from now on. Really? You can't build when you're encumbered? Oh, because I'm not near the workbench. Okay, never mind. Ah, I'm stuck again. You can't climb hills when you're encumbered?
You can't do a lot when you're encumbered. I like to make flaming arrows. No, not
12
yet.
over. How much does this weigh? 2.4 total. So like, resin, I don't need that. Feathers, not that heavy. Berries, not that heavy. Seeds, I can drop those. And no, it's the wood. Rag tunic versus leather tunic. Yeah, I don't need rag tunic. Drop that. Just need, I'll come back for this wood. There we go. I will come back for that.
Right, but what do I need to do a level 3? I can't remember.
Press V. Why? What's V? Is that auto collect?
And Cam always coming in clutch, eh?
Right? Oh my god. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cam. I've never accidentally turned it off, so I didn't know that there was a toggle. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you.
I had no idea you could turn it off.
Yeah, me neither.
Actually, I wonder. Is you right up there, Slacker? You sound like you're gonna eat it.
Nah, it's just stupid little graylings. Trying to build a wall around the perimeter of our workbench limits. Now we're starting to get into the realm of ridiculousness. Alright, let me fix that. Jeez.
Now we're starting to get into the thick of it.
Oh man, not that song, please. I mean, that song's a bop when it's sung by the Backyardigans, but...
What's up, bud?
Okay, I should probably put a gate
Really?
right about... We'll put it in between the rocks.
Why are you so tiny?
Tiny. That's what they're talking about.
Well, that's not going to work. I was trying to do something cool, but apparently I can't.
Can never do anything cool, Beaver. Not allowed.
I don't care what anyone says about you, Slacker. You're a good guy.
Who says that? They're lying.
You lying. Oh, that's a New Zealand commercial. Because we got no chill. And it totally, like... This is back when I was a kid, and it totally, like, made fun of... Well, not made fun of, but it definitely put a heavy stereotype on African-American women.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And we, obviously, because we were kids at the time, we thought it was funny. And then you don't realize till you're an adult that it actually isn't that funny. Like,
Yeah. Learned some interesting, what do you call it? Well, what's the word? Like traditions, I guess, in places like, I think it's the Netherlands or something, where they like do the one thing that you can instantly get canceled for, and they have this whole festival about like, what is it, like doing blackface or something like that? It's just like, are you serious? What the hell is wrong with all of you? Like here, like you do that here and that's an instant fucking cancel, dude. What is your deal? That's like rightly so, you know?
most people have, like, not most people, I should say, a lot of, including us over here, it's definitely places where racism isn't really running rampant. And so it's not treated as much as an issue.
Get crushed, idiot. I just crushed a freaking railing with a log. Let's see if this clip thing works. Yeah, it works. Kick ass. I got a clip button on my stream deck now.
Oh, you actually got it. I didn't realize you already had it.
Yeah. No, I spent all day setting it up yesterday. So now I can actually like clip things, and I don't have to search through 4 hours of stream to be like, wait, what was that funny moment again?
That's fucking rad.
Yeah, these things are great. I mean, I did have to save up for it because, you know,
Yeah.
got a price tag on it. Oh man,
I mean,
like
if it didn't have a price tag on it,
and then it's
everyone would
free. But we went into the Corsair store, like I think a week ago or so. I think those guys are aggressive with their like salesman stuff. Because I was literally in there just trying to like get an idea of like what products are out there, and I wanted to look at their stream decks. And this guy was like almost disappointed when I told him that I was gonna buy it online. And because he's like, oh, what are you guys in for? And I'm like, oh, I'm looking at a stream deck. He's like, yeah, our stream decks are over here. I'm like, kick ass. All right, let's take a look at them. And I'm looking at all of them. I'm like, yeah, I like this one. I'm looking at the XL version because it's got 32 buttons. And he's like, yeah, that, you know, that's great. Like, it's got this, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, so like, were you planning on buying it or like? And I'm like, oh yeah, I was just taking a look, because I was gonna get it online. And he goes, oh. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's easier to buy stuff online, and you know, plus I don't have the money right this second. And then I was looking at their wheels. Like, I wasn't actually gonna buy one, but they have like the wheel peripherals for like racing games. And I was just joking around. I'm like, yeah, like we could do like Mario Kart with this thing. And this guy looked at me as if he was like an Italian and I had just broken spaghetti in front of him. He had this look of like, why would you do that? Because these driving wheels, they were like modeled after like F1 vehicle, like the steering wheels, because they have like brake pedals and the gear pedals and all these buttons on them, and they have like your miles per hour, all that crap. And here I am just being like, yeah, I'm gonna play Mario Kart on it, and he's just like practically wanting to kick me out of the store. And he's just like, oh yeah, I mean, you could. Do you do any racing sims? And I'm like, no, I don't really play racing games. And he just goes like, oh yeah, usually people play racing games with these. And I'm like, all right, dude, I get it. Okay. I'm just kidding around with you.
You should have called him a racer.
You'd be freaking out right there in the store, like, oh, no, I'm sorry, sir. No, I didn't mean it like that.
Shit. Oh, that was fucking so close. My food ran out just as I got into a fight. Or maybe before I got into a fight, I didn't notice, but yeah.
Yeah, no, stream decks are awesome. I've got like sounds on here. Some of the ones that I usually like, I'm thinking of a sound, so I like try to mimic it myself. So now it's like, now I don't need to do that. Now I can just play a sound on my thing.
On your thing?
Mute, yeah, on my stream deck. But
you're like, shut the fuck up. Can't say one goddamn thing in this house.
No, I do the same thing. It's karma.
I always used to do that and pick fight, like little mini fights with the kid's mum.
Gotta be careful because I'm gonna end up getting run over by my own log. I'm just squishing these little bastards when they try to come at me.
Holy shit, that grayling just got wrecked by a skeleton.
Nope,
Yeah.
still good on wheat.
Oh.
Hey, Zen, how's it going? How are you? Hey, that's good to hear. Happy to hear
Now I
that.
can, now I can make us another beehive.
Kick ass. I love beehives.
Fuck you. This deer just moves.
Alright, I don't like beehives. Jeez.
This deer just moved out of the way right as I pulled the fucking let the arrow go. Right, a whole lot of fucking Yellowstone.
Hey, well, congrats. Glad to hear that. Sorry, what?
Whole lot of Yellowstone clips have been coming up on my Facebook feed and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like maybe thinking about watching it, and then I just found out it's like actually like a 30-year-long series or some shit.
There's so many things like that where it's like for example, One Piece, because people always ask me, have you ever seen One Piece? And it's like, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but it's like, I don't know if I can actually get into it because it's like, what, 1,000 something episodes?
Next time, just be like, no, what's One Piece?
Oh God, oh no. Oh yeah, I don't think I want to provoke that hive.
Then when they say it's about pirates, you'll be like, oh, I don't really like pirates.
What is that, like a cartoon? I legit did that once just to screw with this one guy, because like I know what anime is. There's like this guy who was like going on about some weird, I don't know, it was some harem anime, but it was kind of rubbing me the wrong way about the way he was describing some of the characters. Come to find out, some of them aren't exactly of age, you know.
They
And
haven't
so,
got.
huh? Yeah. So I'm just screwing with
I
this
like-
guy. Like, oh, what is that? Like, is that one of those like cartoons? He's like, it's anime. Like, I don't know what that is, man. Like, where is that from? And like every time I would call it a cartoon, like, yeah, you guys want to hear this guy's cartoon? It would piss him off so much. It's like, yeah, it's what you get, you fucking weirdo. Like,
Yeah, I've turned off a couple of them when I found out like they're borderline fucking animes.
Yes.
And then like you see nudity and shit, then I'm like, that person isn't legal. Why is this happening?
Yeah. Get out of here with that shit, bro. You're not gonna sit here and talk about that crap and get away with it. Did you put the fire on a floor? No, you put it on dirt. Okay. I'm gonna have to build one, my own fireplace, because apparently I can't sleep without one. I need my safety campfire. Little baby needs a campfire.
What the fuck was that? Oh wait, blueberries.
Anyways, how you been, Zen?
I'm in the dark forest.
Uh-oh.
I just started hearing growling.
Yeah, you hear growling, and then you hear, "You in the Alpha's forest. You should get out of here now."
Forest.
Like those like wannabe alpha guys, you know? Those guys that are so easy to make fun of. I'm the alpha.
I'm the alpha. This reminds me of fucking, I can never remember his real name, but the dude that played Sam in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Sean Austin?
Yeah, that's it. And he played in 50 First Dates.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's hilarious.
He's so funny.
He gets all touchy like when they ask him like, "Hey, you been hitting the juice?" It's not juice. This is all natural.
I played a game once where one of them is like, he does take steroids. He's pretty open about it, but they all call him Juice Box. It's his call sign.
on. How do I know I can jump on the roof. Come on, let me.
You can't jump on the roof.
Come on, use these Scandinavian genes you were given and jump on the roof.
Oh, Jesus. Our base got a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Alright, you know what? I think I'm just going to build a roof ladder then.
A radar.
A radder. Roof ladder. Yummy, yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Roof ladder. There we go. Oh, hold on, you got someone coming at you. Yowie, Mankey, get. Ouch.
Yeah, our fall damage is pretty hard out in this game. Be careful. You're like, could have used that information 10 seconds ago.
Thanks for telling me, Beaver. Come on, put the wall underneath, man. Alright, fine. I'm just gonna have to clip it. It's gonna look real bad. There's gonna be some Z fighting, but there's nothing I can do about that.
You know what always really, really annoys me about video game logic?
Everything?
See what's in my hand now?
Uh-huh.
Because it's not considered a weapon, it does less damage to... Like, this is all video games, right? Because
Oh, like
not a weapon.
pickaxes?
Yeah, they do less damage because they're considered a tool.
Hmm.
But, I tell you what, if I swung this at someone...
I mean,
it's gonna...
yeah, back in the medieval days, peasants used whatever frickin' weapons or whatever they could get their hands on. You bet your ass they went to war with pickaxes. How do you think the
Yes.
pickhammer got invented? I mean, same with
Yeah.
halberds, because apparently halberds are modified, farm equipment, like hoes and stuff.
So, the reason they use picks in war, oh fuck yeah, is because they went through armor. They went through plate armor.
Yeah. So it's like, no, they absolutely would screw a person up for life. You hit them with the freaking pickaxe, like that's it. Game over. All right, do you wanna sleep so that we can get to daytime?
I can't sleep because there's fucking these things everywhere. There you go. Once we get some equipment from the dungeons and shit, we'll be able to build portals.
Oh, that's right. Hey, how come my chimney's not working? And my campfire went out.
It's a campfire song. Because you need a 90-degree angle.
Oh no, never mind. It was out of fuel. A 90. Oh, the roof needs to be a 90-degree. Okay.
No, sorry. I meant the 45, not the 90. I did half
Gotcha.
of 180 instead of half of 90. Ooh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen.
All right.
We'll fix
Some
that.
berries, some honey.
I am out of wood.
Oh, I got a grey dwarf eye, which is one of the things you need for the portals.
Shoot.
one of the things I love about this game though is when you have the forge. If it runs out of like things to smelt, it turns off. It doesn't keep using your friggin' wood or charcoal. Sorry. The best.
Yeah, that Hightail game I was playing, that's pretty fun. Like,
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, like it's funny though because people are like really, really against it. Like they get really defensive.
It's because it started out as a Minecraft mod. So the people are getting offended by all the Minecraft like ride or dies.
I mean, almost all good games started, like indie games started out as mods. Ever heard of the game Dota? That's a freaking mod.
Never. I watched that game. Let's take on those guys. Most toxic fucking community on the internet.
Oh man. Yeah, I tried playing League of Legends back in college, and I remember I was not too good at the game, you know, as a person usually is when they first start playing a game. And
of course, yeah.
I got reported so many times for being bad at the game. And I was like, you're kidding me. There's no way that there's an actual report system. Like, I thought they were just like trolling, like, I'm gonna report you. And I look and no, there's legitimately a thing that's like low player skill. I'm like, what the fuck? You can report somebody for being bad at a game. It's like, it's not like it was intentional, you know? I wasn't being an asshole and like griefing, but I was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
I tell you, man, it's the most toxic community in gaming.
Really gotta get over themselves.
Can't even get under themselves. Oh, wrong chest.
A lot of wood for a gate. Jeez. Can I chop this down or do I need copper? Too hard. You know, I thought when I was first playing this game, I knew there were different levels of axes, but when you hit a tree and it says too hard, I didn't think it was talking about that the wood is too hard and you need a different axe. I thought it was saying that you're hitting the tree too hard. Like, what does that mean?
Welcome back, Duck.
Hey, Duck. Welcome back. So I was like asking people, like, what does it mean? Why is it telling me I'm hitting the tree too hard? But yeah, your boy Slacker's a dingus. Oh, baby. Oh, that almost got me. I knocked three trees down with one. And then the other tree almost got me.
That's the fucking jackpot.
You just imagine, like, back in the day, with like when there was heavy logging going on, if there was like recordings, like if TikTok existed back in those days, like the 1800s, there'd be like videos of guys cutting down like giant trees in such a way that they like knock other trees down like in a domino effect. Like, yeah, look at that, we just saved ourselves like a month of logging.
So I made a boo-boo, I'm fixing it now, just in case you come over here.
Did you break?
The wall, because I didn't realize that that stone that was in the wall there's a big hole in it too. I thought it was just gone through it.
Oh yeah, you can fix that. I didn't think to break that boulder. I don't know why.
but now there's a big gap in the wall.
Yeah, you can break those and fix them. I kind of like when I'm not paying attention and I'm just building, I kind of just build around whatever's in the way because I'm lazy. Like those pictures of like the road painters when they're putting like the road stripes and you see they like paint over a stick. That's me right there. Like, not my job to pick that up.
Oh, come on. On the other side of the wall, I'm in range of the fucking workbench, but on this side, I'm not.
You know, this comment got some raised eyebrows when I said it once, but I remember we were talking about survival games, and I said that I would like to see one in the like, you know, the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom world, how Hyrule's all destroyed. It's like I would like to see a survival game in that world where it's like you're rebuilding Hyrule and you make like a settlement and everything.
That could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that could be awesome. All you gotta do is just like take the assets you already have, and they've already proven that they can make a game in which you build stuff with Tears of the Kingdom, and then just like swap out Link for other.
What did they what?
Yeah, then people are like, no, I don't want that. Don't turn Zelda into that. I'm like, dude, okay, you know, you're acting like I have any control over the series. I didn't say it was going to happen.
But also, in saying that, like, games need that sort of stuff. Like,
Innovation,
you
yeah.
know, yeah. Like, just something fucking new.
I think it would be fun. You know,
My favorite genre of game is survival games, so I think it would be fun.
yeah. And you could very easily come up with a new enemy too. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be Calamity Ganon. You could make the enemies like the Yiga clan, you know? Because they're still around. There's so much you could do with a survival Zelda game. I'm still holding out hope that one day they make a Zelda MMO, but I think I'm gonna be cold and dead in the ground before they ever even consider that.
I'm not a big fan of MMOs, so yeah. But like, it'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if they did something different.
Yeah, they could do it similar to Final Fantasy 14. I mean, that game's it's a Final Fantasy game, you know, through and through. It's got all the elements of a Final Fantasy game, but it's online. They could do the same thing with Zelda.
The part of MMOs that I don't like is the fact that I have to rely on other people to play my games.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I don't actually care about the game itself.
You probably would like RuneScape then, because you really don't need other people.
I hate this fence design though.
Oh, the farm fence, yeah.
I'm not even really sure how to do it. It's trying to click into place, but like,
Where's the damn? There it is. Don't like the angles and the snapping angles for some things.
yeah, me neither.
A little too precise.
But also, this just looks bad. Like, just make a wattle fence.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess Thatchers we are not.
Wattle fence is the easiest thing to make, even if you don't know what you're doing.
It's just the one where you're like weaving sticks together, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Our boys ain't too.
You just hammer sticks into the ground, in like a line or a circle, however the fuck you're gonna do it, and then you just weave them in between. Like one goes left, right, and then the one on top of it goes right, left. That's it. So they're the whole way around. The hardest part about it is finding sticks that are the right size. And saying that that's really only if you want it to look pretty. If you just want a fence, then you can find any stick and just use more of them.
They work better with willow though, don't they? Since it's bendy.
Yeah, bendy is better, but if you're not going to be bendy, you have to make your support sticks closer together so that they don't bend so much. Oh, there's 2 trees. I only took down 2 trees. But yeah, no, it's wattle fences are pretty simple to make. Pretty sturdy too, because they you don't need nails. The tension just holds everything together.
Yeah.
People back before this stuff was made, right? That's like true genius to me.
Oh yeah, figuring that kind of stuff out. Yeah, that's why I always get mad whenever people say like people way back in the day, like, oh, how could they ever build such things? They you can't even do it with today's technology. It's like, well, just because you can't doesn't mean they couldn't.
My other favorite thing is when people say they'd want to go back in time and build all this stuff and be great and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you know how to build that? Like, do you know how to make fuel? No, I don't. Then how the fuck are you gonna do it?
Yeah. Like, you go back in time, like, sure, gasoline exists, electricity exists, but if you go back in time and you're like, yeah, we got electricity, it powers all this stuff, people are gonna be like, yo, that's cool, what's electricity? And you're just gonna be like, well, you see,
right?
It's like, let's say you make it. Because, like, I feel like if I knew how to source the parts, I could make probably a crude water wheel that generates some electricity. But the problem is I don't know how to source the stuff. I don't know how to make the magnet thing that spins around the copper generating the power. I don't know how to make copper wire, all that stuff. So it's like, if I went back in time and I explained to them, maybe I could tell a smith, like a coppersmith, like, hey, I need copper wire. But then even him, he's gonna be like, what the fuck's wire, dude? What do I do? How do I make it?
Like, I know how to make it in the sense of modern technology. I have no idea how to make it in the sense of original
Their technology. Yeah. Dr. Stone's rad.
It's so good.
I could never be a Dr. Stone though. It's like, I could probably explain to some people back then, like, okay, so this is what I need. I need magnets, and then they're gonna be like, what's a magnet? Okay, well, I need lodestone. They're gonna be like, well, we have a little bit of that. Okay, well, I'm gonna need a lot of it. And they're gonna be like, okay, give us 2 years then, because we're gonna have to dig a lot of it out. We got freaking wooden picks, man. Give us a break.
Sorry, just got a call from Quinn.
Oh no, all good.
She's staying at her friend's house. She wants me to drop some clothes off after.
Oh yeah, if you gotta run for a bit or whatever, by all means.
That's fine. Her friend lives the next street over.
Oh.
And they're chill as fuck. They're she'll go around there and they'll just be like, yeah, fucking She can stay the night, whatever.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, my mom was like that too back in the day. Like I could literally just bring a friend home and be like, yeah, they're staying over for the night. She's like, all right, that's cool. I'll just make extra dinner.
Yeah, I'm like, I try to be like that too. Sometimes I'm like, no. But most of the time I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I think I would kind of be the same as a parent. Like, yeah, sure, they can stay over. Other times I'd be like, go ask your mom first, because, you know, I kind of feel like mom's the more hosty one. I could say yes, and then she's going to be like, no, I don't want a house full of kids tonight. All right, well, fair enough.
You gotta tell her then.
Now, see, if Dr. Stone ever does, like dives into the world of, like, thermonuclear war, that'll be so funny. It's like, I figured out how to process uranium. Now I can make thermonuclear bombs. And everyone's like,
And now I have cancer.
By the way, you all have cancer. But you know, the great thing though is the fact that, Jesus Christ, I just wrecked the entire forest with one log. The great thing though is that most electricity, like 99% of all of our electricity generation, is just different ways of boiling water. So it's
Have
just
you
like,
seen- I really want to get one of those steam powered fucking phone chargers.
oh my god, that sounds ridiculous but funny.
So basically it's a steam engine but shrunk right down, and it's got a little candle wick on it, and you light the candle wick and it heats up the water in the glass jar in this little glass bit, and then that builds the steam pressure, and then it makes like the thing go and generates electricity.
That sounds amazing.
You can buy them on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, this is a terrible fucking enclosure, but I also don't know if there's like gates for this.
Oh, for the farm? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
It's fucking rude. Did you pick up all my wood from over there? I dropped like 11 wood.
Where?
In the forest?
Probably not.
Do you know that there's ladders?
No, I did not know that there's ladders.
I just saw the roof going up. The fuck was that? I also probably should have asked if you you turned on hordes.
I don't know. I didn't edit any settings, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, we might have hordes coming soon.
That's okay. Nothing we can't handle, right?
Nah, we good.
Famous last words.
Turn down for what?
Wait, should we put a gate here? Because I got a gate over there, a gate over here. You think we need a gate on this side?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need more wood?
I don't think so.
Wait.
Go up. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a wonky gate because it won't snap together.
We do love wonky gates.
Everything I do is wonky, so, you know.
Um,
There we go. We are
Right.
now fully enclosed. Wait, shit. Uh-oh. Does it matter that they're not inside the circle?
No, not that I know of. I think inside the circle is just the so if you need a workbench to build stuff, you have to be inside that circle.
Ah, okay. Okay, this is bothering me more than it should. How do we get grass out of the freaking house?
You need to hoe the ground before you put the floor down.
Shit.
We can lift the floor up and then hoe and then put the floor back down, like just like this. You can also use a pickaxe, but it can make it too far down. Yeah.
Yeah, that just bothers me more than it should. Because I hate, like, in some games when you, like, build a floor and there's still grass.
Yes, I fully understand. Don't worry. But
There we go. That's so much better. Oops. I think we just both put down a floor.
yeah,
There we go.
I almost did it again. Are we sleeping?
Go to bed.
Beaver bed. Well
Dream
done.
you're hunting with your companions, running high over green hills and down through mist-haunted valleys. I cannot read that fast.
Well, not when you're trying to be dramatic.
Probably wants me to switch back to my terrible Scandinavian accent to read it that fast. Not gonna happen.
There you go. Scandinavian. That's me.
Or
That's what I is.
my bad Skyrim accent.
Well, actually, no. Sorry. That's what my heritage is. I should say. I just really hate when people are like, I'm Irish or I'm this or I'm that.
I mean,
And
in our defense here in America, we got nothing else to go off of. You know, like our
yeah, but all you have to do is you just have to replace it with like, I have Irish heritage, you know, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, but even that gets them a little pissy sometimes. Like, no, did your grandparents come from Ireland? Well, not my grandparents, my great-great-grandparents. Oh, that doesn't count then. It's like, okay, whatever. All right, fine, you know, not gonna argue with you. It's your culture.
Why not? Arguing's the best.
I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like avoiding an argument is better.
See, and that to me that means you have Irish heritage, but it, you know.
Yeah, see, that would make, to them, that would count. If it's your dad. Then if, because I know for sure my great hold on, let me count generations. Because they came from Ireland. Or, not Ireland, sorry, Scotland. In 1790 something. They were basically farmers all along the south, and they just followed farming work. See, it's like that kind of stuff's really cool to me, like being able to actually see your heritage and have like paperwork and stuff to back it up. That's so fucking cool.
Oh, I'm carrying too much. Slugger. Oh, got a waddle in the house. Waddle.
You look like you shit your pants.
I really do.
Your character like looks down like they're ashamed of it, like, oh, I shit my pants again.
Gotta stay warm somehow. What's going on out there?
All right. Just trying to level things a bit. I forget how the leveling system works sometimes, and I do more damage than good. What's up, Ducky?
Feel that? I do the same thing.
I'm not trying to make it perfectly level. We could probably put like our forge or something out here.
We have plenty of room for most everything we need.
We got so much room for activities.
But we are going to have a serious talk about flattening the ground.
Yes. I'm trying to do. I mean, some parts of it are going to be raised up. I'm trying, all right?
No, I just love you like running around with your hoe.
Me and my hoe are best friends.
But something's real trying to get us.
Well, ain't it a good thing I built this wall then?
See? Look at this. Slagger.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. Sorry that my roof walkway was not good enough for you. Mr. Bougie, I need a ladder.
Hey, I appreciate you trying, alright?
Where's my gold star, goddammit?
It's here if you want one. You have to come get it though.
You gotta send it to me. You gotta give me my participation trophy. I'm taking a cue from our president. I want participation trophies, damn it.
I guess I'm still gonna call him my stepson. My stepson's girlfriend's coming over from the States, and they're making her jump through so many hoops, being like, "We're only giving this to you if you like prove to us that you're gonna come back."
Oh my god.
so Kylie had to just to get her over here. They had to get sponsored, and then they had to prove they had something to come back for, and they had to have a certain amount of money in their thing for a ticket home, and blah blah blah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're probably gonna start like cracking down on Americans trying to flee. Like, you can go to the country, but you have to come back. And it's like, oh, there's no guarantee I'm coming back.
That's what they're doing, and it's like basically now, if you, at least for American citizens, even if you get married while you're over here, you still get deported back there because of like a contract.
Welcome back from the ad break. The bills have been paid.
Just like, let me hide out in your garden shed or something, man. Pretend I'm not there.
I just get you a fake passport. I don't know. We'll make Slacker Savant your real name.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like, that's a weird name. Like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
That's my
mother's name. No.
That is my heritage name, or whatever.
It's like, obviously I don't know your real name, but whatever it is, you'll be like, that was my slave name.
Oh my god. That was my American name.
Yeah. Same thing, isn't it?
At this point. Ugh. Yeesh. Pulling it on the collar moment.
I mean, I just say whatever I want. Deal with the consequences
No, I mean,
later.
okay, I can't flatten this shit anymore.
Nah.
It's just not working.
Come on, boy. Yep, come on. I don't know how I'm actually going to get you in the gate, but we're going to try.
Yeah, same here, Cam. I got a rude awakening leaving freaking high school, going to college, and then having an internet presence and learning, actually, no. America did not win us World War II. And then also learning how badly we lost the Vietnam War, and I'm like, okay. Eesh. Boy, did the propaganda work on us.
Oi, where are you?
I'm on the roof.
Not you. The boar that I was leading over here. There you are. That's
It's
one wet boar.
And then that freaking comment about, like, you would be speaking German if it wasn't for us. And it's like, I already speak German, you idiot.
Oh yeah, Belgium or something, eh? Or...
Moron.
That was so funny. I was laughing. I was fucking laughing.
Oh, man. And it's like, the thing is, it's like, we came into World War II so late that there's no way, like, sure, you know, the Battle of Normandy and storming the beach and all that stuff, we had a significant contribution. I'm not going to downplay that at all. But to sit there and, like, strut around and be like, we won because of us, it's like, get out of here, dog. Because then you're downplaying the sacrifices that the Soviet Union made, that, you know, all of our other allies made. So it's like, get out of here.
Come on,
Oh
come
my
on.
god.
Come
Wait,
on.
are you trying to tame it?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Did you tell it that we have tasty treats? All right, I'll close it.
I think I'm gonna have to break the fence though. Get him in and then build it again.
Does it tame when you put it in there?
I hope so.
Oh god! Oh, it's chasing me!
Man.
All right, come on.
Man.
Hog rider! Oh my god. Almost had it.
Come on. I thought I could get out, so I'm not fucking worried.
Come on, you can do it. Okay, hold on. Hey,
Yeah,
over
I've got
here. Ouch.
I've got no wood left, so you may have to build this fence back.
Okay, hold on. Let me quickly
Oh,
switch over there.
does it follow berries, Cam? I couldn't remember how to do it.
Oh, I can't. What? I can't because there's no workbench.
What do you mean there's no work?
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
it's
Hold
here.
on, hold on. Yeah, I was in the wrong spot.
Come on.
You can feed him berries. Cam is saying.
There you go.
Boom. Haha, you're trapped, idiot. Hoo-yah. Oh, shit. I think you might want to stay away from the fence. Because it's going to attack it every time it runs by.
Yeah, I think we have to throw berries in there.
Berries and cream. Berries and cream.
Oh, I missed.
Do you drop it in there? Because I could just jump in and drop it.